Hi guys, it's Aaliyah. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming on with a little project share of this cute little field note size traveler's notebook junk journal. The field note size, it measures 3.5 by 5.5, which this is. And with this one, I did a fabric like puffy cover. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but basically underneath the fabric is a layer of felt to make it a little bit more like, not much, but it's like a little puffy. So it gives it a little bit of, I don't know, softness. And let me just take this off. This material that I used, I showed it I don't know how many videos back when I did one of my thrift store hauls. It is one of the pillowcases that I found at the thrift store. So this is made with a pillowcase, but I love the design on it. And for this, I didn't use an actual kit. I used like a papers kit. I don't know if that makes sense. So like, you know how regular kits, you get the pages, the background pages, and then ephemera or anything extra. This one here just has different papers. And it was from TLC Creates Vintage, and it's called Nature Walk. So that is what I used in here. And believe it or not, there is 100 pages in here. And of course, you know, 100 pages meaning front and back. So this is page 1, page 2, page 3, etc. But for being such a little notebook, it's holding a lot of pages. So the inside, this paper here is a Tim Holtz paper that I used because I felt like just the grunginess, it went really well with this kit. And the papers are gorgeous. Look at that. This is so little. I feel like I have to keep holding it up. Either that, or let me see if I can just zoom in just a tad. Is that too much? Maybe too much. There we go. I think maybe that's a little bit better. So, yeah, the paper is gorgeous. It's like grungy and vintagey and just right up my alley. So here is the first page. And the back sides, I just printed, actually, what is this? This was a paper, a coffee dyed lined paper from Ephemera's Vintage Garden that I had, well, I have on my computer, but I thought that just the color of the paper, and it has very faded lines, I don't know if you can see that, would just work well, especially for like extra journaling there. So I did that. And then here is one of the cutouts I used from the Tim Holtz paper pack. It was the little, I think these are 3x3. You know what? I can just measure it real quick. Yeah, the 3x3 squares that you get in the very back of the paper pack. I just cut it in half and made it into a little corner tuck. Then I have a tag here, and these I got at Michael's a while back. And then I got, oops, it's not even in frame. I have this. I don't remember where I got this image from. And then I just backed it onto an offcut of a file folder. And then slips right in there. So you can definitely journal on the back of that. And here is, oh, this is from my crossword puzzle book. That one. And some of that newsprint paper that I got at the thrift store. And some, this is avocado dyed paper. And this, I believe, came from Danny. I'm pretty sure. Yep. And then here, I made a little envelope. On the front of the envelope, I have a little thingamabob. What are these called? These little, oh my gosh. Well, you know what I'm talking about. These little things. I'll just hold it closer so you know what I'm talking about. I don't know why I can't remember. Awful. And it's backed, oh, it's mounted on some vintage music paper. And then inside, we have a teeny tiny Tim Holtz. It's like a journaling card, I guess. I don't know. That. And then here's an offcut, and then you can do some extra journaling on there. Fold it back up. And then just goes right back inside. And the thing. I will remember the name of that probably when I finish the video. And then here I have some coffee dyed line paper, and I just attached, or I stapled a little ticket that I had in my stash. I don't know where it came from, but I just staple those to the corner. And then these little cuties here, let me just take that off. I was watching a video, I think it was last week, on Yvonne Preston's channel, and she had made an envelope and she had put a stamp on it, just like this. And I thought that was so cute. I have tons and tons of stamps, so I made my own envelope with the stamp. And then inside, we have a vintage Hawaii Delta Airlines playing card. And then again, a little offcut to journal in. And then it goes right back inside, and it's so super cute. Actually, I think this was behind there. And then it clips back on. And like I always say with envelopes and stuff that I put in my journals, you don't have to keep the envelopes in. You can use them for whatever you want. You could even glue them onto a page if you wanted to. This is the gift card size envelope, so if you want to reuse it, if you were giving a gift card to somebody, then, you know, just some ideas, or you can use it in the journal, doesn't matter. And then here is another page from the kit. Isn't it gorgeous? It actually really it reminds me of Tim Holtz paper. The grungy darkness and just like the collaged images on it. I absolutely love it. And it would be awesome if she made like a whole kit with this, including like ephemera and stuff, like a full kit. Because I'd be all over that. And then again here, was one of the little 3x3 cards. I cut it down to make a pocket. And then in the pocket, we have a little probe card. One of these, and these came also from Danny, and it's heavy. See, it's like a really thick cardstock, which is nice. And then that, and I think this came from Ephemera's Vintage Garden. And then that all gets tucked right back inside. Oh, applique. That's what these are little flower appliques. See, I knew eventually it would come to me. But then I have a big flower applique there. And another page from the kit. Love it. It's like I love every single page. And they are full-size pages. I figured out how to shrink them down to make the size that I actually wanted. So, I mean, they come normal size. I just happened to shrink it down because I was in the mood to make a really teeny tiny journal. And then here's actually an offcut of the file folder. Oh, that's where I keep getting the offcuts. I'm like, why did I have offcuts? I used a file folder for the cover. So inside, under here, is a file folder. So it's the pillowcase, then the felt, then the file folder, and then the Tim Holtz paper. That's what I did. I forgot. So took one of the offcuts. I had a little piece of material left over. It's actually I have a little bit more. This butterfly material that I used on another journal that I recently made. And then I also had a punched butterfly that came from my friend Alicia. And I thought it is just all tied in perfectly. So I used that there. And then I used it to make a little pocket. And again, one of the random Michael's tags, a probe card with 3 dots on the back. Don't know what that means. And then here's a Tim Holtz, a little ephemera piece. Actually, I could put it like that. And then the vintage music paper, some coffee dyed paper. I have 3 puzzle pieces, and it's funny because they came from my friend Alicia, and I've wanted to use them, and I think I've randomly used them in the past, but I don't really know, or I didn't really think that I was using them right. And then I noticed in a lot of her journals, she just puts them on as like a decoration. So I said, oh, why not do that? So I put 3 of her puzzle pieces there. And here is another envelope with a stamp. And this envelope has the same exact thing as the first one. It has the Hawaii card as well as just an offcut folded up for some journaling. So I don't need to take that off. Because you know what it is. You've seen it before. The only difference is the stamp. Oh, well, let me show you a little closer. There's the stamp. All right, then moving on, some coffee dyed line paper. Another page out of the crossword puzzle book. And then in this pocket, we have another one of these pictures, and I'm really sorry. I've had it for so long. This was actually one of the first things I ever printed when I started the junk journals. So, I mean, it must have been last year or the year before, because I've been making junk journals now for just a couple years. And I know because the way this prints, I printed it on my mom's printer. That's because way back then I didn't have a printer. So I've had these in my stash for a long, long time. And then here is just a cutout. I had some paper a paper pack that I got at Walmart, and it had a page with all these like different kind of things that you could cut out. So that's that one. And another tag that I got. And this tag came from a shop from Germany. She had digitals of pages of just tags. And I know I mentioned this in another video. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Or not her name, her shop's name. And it's like ILOPA, Ilupa maybe. But I will have to try to remember to link her shop below. But that's where I got her tags. The tags from her shop. And then another paper from the kit. And here I use another offcut of the file folder, and I just put some book page, and then I put a little picture of that little girl. And a lot of the ephemera here I just pulled from my stash because I needed smaller pieces to fit in. So I'm not sure where these printed from. This could be Tsunami Rose, but I'm not 100% sure. And this one might have been Christie Art Design. But again, don't quote me because I've had them in my stash for a while. I was just looking for smaller pieces to fit in the journal. And another page. Just gorgeous, gorgeous. Love it. Here's the middle of the signature. And I left this as the middle because, I mean, they have the faint lines on it, but I figured this would be a good, like, large journaling spot to use. So, that was my thinking behind that. And then the back side of that. Some more coffee dyed line paper. Another little offcut I made a tuck spot out of. And again, the same types of ephemera, tags, whatever. Another page. And now we're doing the back sides of all the pages that we previously looked at. And let's see, what do I have in here? Not sure exactly where this came from. This was found in my room when I was doing that cleanup of my craft room. This, though, I do know is from Elsie Bell's bookshelf. She had some ephemera kits, and that was one of her ephemera kits. They're like little advertisements, which is super cute. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. Leave it just like that. And then another little pocket that I made, and this, of course, matches this. So it was just a little piece that I took off. Again, one of the plain tags, probe card, and one of the cards that I have had for a long time. Another. This is just, I love this paper. I'm gonna have to probably do a full-size journal too. Eventually, I'll get around to that. Here is a mason jar that also came from my friend Alicia. She has like the cutting machine that cuts out the die cuts. So she sent me some. She sent me a bunch of different cutouts, like the puzzle pieces. She sent me some mason jars and some other cool bits. So you'll be seeing those too. And then inside, this is a Tim Holtz, like a ephemera piece. And this, I think this came from Renee over at GT Designs. She has like an ephemera kit as well that I got. There was this one night that I was looking for just ephemera kits, and I purchased ephemera kits from Elzebel's Bookshelf. I purchased a bunch from her. I think I own like 90% of her ephemera kits because I like them so much. I got one from GT Designs, and I also got one from the Old Design Shop. So that's what I use for like different ephemera pieces. We have those two here. Don't know where those came from. Another beautiful page. Another envelope with a little stamp there. And lots of good space to journal. See this other die cut. This came from Alicia too. And I stapled that on there. I wanted to do something different rather than always just gluing on. I wanted to try different ways of attaching things, so I got my stapler out and I just wanted to staple a few little pieces, you know, throughout. So here's another little flower applique, and also in here, just like the other one, we have a little teeny tiny Tim Holtz thingamabob and some extra journaling paper. And I broke out my little envelope punch board to make these, even though these aren't super tiny. I think they were 2.5 by 2.5. So, but they were made with a little punch board. The avocado dyed paper, the newsprint, book sheet, some more ephemera pieces that I got in my stash from somewhere. And then the back side. And that. So yeah, so it's a pretty chunky book. But I mean, it's so super cute, and it's really portable. Like you could, you know, just tie it up, or even, you know, you could put an elastic around it, a hair elastic or something, throw it in your bag, because it's pretty durable, I think. I mean, I don't know. I've never really thrown my books around, but you know, it's not anything that you'd have to handle with care, I don't think. So that is my project share for the day. It is available in my Etsy if you are interested. I'll leave the information below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.